right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision, brought to you from the Sin Cal Studios, Bueller Dodge, and soon to be joined by Dennis when he gets out from behind radio's chair and jumps up.
Why don't we just
here.
do the extra camera like we did that one time?
Yeah, we can do
Too
that.
much?
Too much.
We should have thought of that before.
We should.
Get over here! It looks weird.
You mean in the 30 minutes that we had to bullshit, we should have thought of that then?
Thinking is not my... The thinker's
You're right.
not here.
No,
You're
the
right.
thinker's
That
not
would have
here.
worked, but no.
So we got some news to go over. We got some fights from last week to go over, and of course we have fights from this week to look forward to. Lots of stuff is happening, and first off, we're gonna begin it with I don't know what we're gonna.
Oh yeah, we can really get in with this one right here.
With Tina Lahdemaki.
Lahdemaki has announced her retirement. Now, if you don't really recognize that name, there's probably good
a
reason.
reason.
She is 5-1. Did fight in the UFC in 2014. She was in the first ever women's strawweight fight.
So she went
against Claudia Gadelha.
Yeah, she went 8-0 as an amateur, and then she
Yep.
joined the UFC as a professional at 5-0 as a pro.
Yep.
Lost her debut fight in the UFC, and
Yep.
then
Never came back.
Yeah, injury.
After that
kid.
injury, she had a wrist injury. She had a shoulder injury. She had surgery 3 times. It was just taking the toll on her. And then while she was out on those injuries, she did get married and have a kid. And she's decided that basically
It's an
she's...
interesting approach.
Yeah.
My shoulder's broken. I'm gonna have a baby.
I mean, I'm out already. Might as well.
I'm out already. Sure. Yeah. What's the recovery time on this? 9 months. Perfect. Put one in me.
Put it in.
Put it in.
Yeah, put it in.
Put it in.
That's the thing that we've learned, though, watching mixed martial arts for all these years, is that a baby is a coffin nail. If you come into the sport with kids, then you can fight for the kids, a la Houston Alexander, who was knocking people out like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Sarah McMahon.
Sarah McMahon, you know, that's great. But if you have kids while you're in the sport, all of a sudden you get a glimpse of what you can lose, and you don't want to forget how to tie your shoes because you want to be able to teach them how to tie theirs.
Yeah, there you go.
And so you quit. That was what happened. Well, we'll get to Stipe Miocic later.
Yeah.
Moving on from there.
We have Paige Van Zandt still trying to break the internet by posting lots of pictures like this on her Instagram.
All right.
Yeah.
To me, that is not a flattering picture.
Why is it so pixelated? It's like Japanese porn.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Why
pulled
is she
this
so,
from her
so
Instagram.
pasty?
I don't know why she constantly has the head tilt. She has the blonde girl, I'm on my phone head tilt, and look at that picture, that picture, that picture.
That's just how Instagram works, man.
She rocks the head tilt.
No, she went to her local junior
Head
college
tilt.
Instagram classes,
Head tilt.
and that's how they do it.
Tilts. Like, head tilts. All head tilt. Anyway, she's posting pictures. She's like, oh, it's bikini season. And like the one before that was in, I think, the same similar outfit, maybe underwear. But she was just like, oh, it's Berkham hot yoga season.
With the head tilt.
With the head tilt, like, yeah.
Hey, whatever. I don't look that good in a bikini. If I had the marketing ability, I can't blame her for it. She has the marketing ability. She's trying to get out there the best way she can. So, you know, knock
Doing
yourself
what
out.
she's doing, right?
Got to get those likes and shares. Got to do it for the likes and shares.
Especially if you're not fighting right now.
Especially if you're not fighting and winning.
Got to move product somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, when was
she
the last
is a
time?
Reebok athlete.
When was the last time she won?
She lost her last fight, right?
I think she lost the last 2. But we could be wrong, like we usually are.
Sometimes. Ultimate
The
Fighter.
plastic surgeon tapped out. He's like, I'm done.
I'm done.
My job here is done.
That's enough.
Ultimate Fighter 28.
Oh,
Too much. There we go. Perfect.
Will be debuting August 29th on Fox Sports 1.
The last one, right?
This will be, I think, the last one on the Fox deal. This is going to be called Heavy Hitters.
Okay.
The reason it's Heavy Hitters is because
also a really good cartridge for vaping.
Heavy
Okay,
hitters?
right. Yeah, heavy hitters.
I think
Did
that
not
was
know.
UFC 53.
Was it?
Wasn't it? Bontello against Andrei Arlovsky?
Oh, geez.
Pretty sure it's called Heavy Hitters, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but-
moving on from there.
When Tello went to sleep like that, like you had to watch the replay to
You
even
watch
see
it,
the
you like,
connection.
it just went in and everyone's like, boom! They're like, oh, wait, he got fucked up.
Oh,
Okay, good
he's-
job. Good job, Andre.
He's dead. He's dead.
Happened so quick. Yeah, so it's Heavy Hitters because we are doing female featherweights, so all of these ladies are going to be having a chance to eventually fight and build a division for Cyborg.
Okay.
And then you have male heavyweights.
So you have the heaviest division for women.
For women.
And
the
then
heaviest
male
division
heavyweights.
For male.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Your coaches, Bobby Knuckles
Yeah.
and Kevin Costello.
Yeah, I love it when they put that title up and hold it for an entire year because of filming for The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
I thought
so-
they were going to start a heavyweight with. They were going to bring in what's her name, the Godzilla girl.
No, Gabby?
Gabby?
For the UFC?
I don't think
That'd
that's
be
the thing.
interesting.
Changed his name to OMG.
OMG?
Moving on there to some drama. These two guys.
Oh, I got a prediction about the Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
I think when it's done, I think Bellator kicks off their own thing.
Again,
I think they're going to.
they had Fight Master. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I barely remember that, but yeah, because it was horrible.
Yeah.
You should have put it in an envelope and done the Karnak thing.
I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just funny one-liners.
Why not?
Eskimo brothers.
Puts right into these two guys right here.
Dana White and Brendan Schaub.
This is happier times, as you can see by our photo. This all started, basically, Brendan Schaub went on his podcast and said, I think that everybody is high and mighty on these guys who come from kickboxing, boxing backgrounds, and when they come over to the UFC, they expect them to be elite strikers. The distance, the combos, the head movement, the number of variables, it's a completely different game. So to me, that never translates. Israel Adesanya, middleweight for the UFC, who is a highly decorated kickboxer, just fought on the Ultimate Fighter finale, which we'll get to here in a little bit. He did win his fight there. He basically took note of this and put on his podcast or on his Instagram, oh, really? Like, basically, that's not true. I won my fight. I think what Brandon was getting at, and a lot of people actually realized, is he was talking about Gokhan Sakai, who did lose his fight.
Over the last weekend, right?
Over the last weekend as well, and he was a highly touted heavy, kickboxer. Dana White shows up in the comments on Israel's Instagram and says, such a fucking tool. What the fuck does this idiot know about sports or business? Good for you to be for you to be listening to one word from this moron is a waste of your time. He went 6-5 in the UFC. The only thing he can teach you is how to get KO'd. Tune idiots like this out.
What? Why,
Like,
Dana?
Dana, what are you doing,
Why,
bro?
man?
Why is he so mad?
Brendan Schaub has always been a nice, likable dude.
Brendan Schaub comes back with,
He's
whoa!
not. I don't like Brendan.
Well, no, he just doesn't like
Why
us.
not? He doesn't like us at all.
No, I don't care for Brendan myself.
Brendan Schaub comes back with Dana White and says, whoa, look who got a break from folding Ronda's laundry and jump on Instagram.
That was a good line.
Bravo.
That's a good one.
He's right. What do I know? What do I know? Listen.
Folding Ronda's laundry or sniffing Connor's jockstrap? I mean, really, what's more relevant at this
He
point?
says, what do I know? Listen to the bald fat guy who has never been in a fight in his life. Why don't you do that? He goes, by the way, you're a monster. I was referring to guys with little MMA experience like Sakai, and that was my main point coming to the straight UFC from MMA major leagues. You have a ton of experience, so good on you. Immediately, Dana White. Someone questioned about Brendan Schaub being successful. Dana White says he's successful? ? As soon as Rogan stops carrying him, he will disappear.
That's just mean,
That's
Dana.
Sutherland. That's not true. There's a lot of people that Dana likes that have never made him money.
Here's what's weird is that
Brendan
CM
Schaub
Punk?
hit back pretty hard with this post and tagged him in it. He says, this is hilarious. Yes, Joe Rogan is one of my best friends and has played a significant role in my post-fight career, no doubt. And you're right about that, Dana White. 2 TV shows, sold out worldwide comedy tour, 2 successful podcasts, and I just signed booked my first major movie. I'm super grateful. However, if it weren't for the Fertittas loaning your ass millions of dollars to invest in an idea that wasn't yours from the start, you wouldn't be shit. How's it feel to know that the real businessmen and brains left, and the UFC has been a shell of itself with you at the forefront? You tried it all. CM Punk experiment, begging Brock to come back and praying at night for a Connor text. Tough job to do when Lorenzo is holding your hand, making sure you don't mess it all up. Can't feel good. You'd be a cardio kickboxing coach in Boston in your late 40s, hoping to grab a ticket to my stand-up front row show if Lorenzo Fertitta didn't save your ass. Also, this is no way for Eskimo brothers that should talk to one another. This is your last warning. So immediately everybody went, I don't give a fuck what he just said. He said Eskimo brothers? Who
yeah.
did they both fuck?
Yeah, who's finger cuffs?
That's not true. There's a whole half of the world that were like, Eskimo brothers?
Yeah.
What is Eskimo brothers?
we just became best friends. No, that's not what Eskimo brothers are. That's when you make somebody finger cuffs. We want to know who finger cuffs
Not
is.
necessarily finger cuffs.
Okay, so not at the same time. But
Yeah.
that's the word.
Basically, if you look up Urban Dictionary, Eskimo brothers is when you and a friend have had sex with the same person.
Yeah.
Not necessarily at the same time.
You shared the same igloo.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No,
You
the
shared
same fishing hole.
the fishing hole.
You
okay.
both put your poles in the same fishing hole.
All right.
So
That makes,
everybody
that makes so
now
much
get a
more sense than
pole,
fucking
honey.
igloos. Now I get it even more than I ever have. 39 years old, I was like, we shared the same igloo. All right, cool. Fishing poles in the fishing hole makes way more fucking sense. So thank you both for that one. Fuck whoever told me igloos.
So anyway,
You know what kills me is you
everyone's
actually
wondering.
have more experience in internet porn than either of us combined.
Yeah.
True.
True.
This is entirely possible.
Yes.
Not possible. True.
True. I should work
Fact.
for the Library of Congress when
Fact.
it comes to porn. They should just have an office built for me, put me in there.
Don't
You
say
decide.
that. You could be
You decide
subpoenaed.
the ones
You
that
could
get
be subpoenaed right now.
You-
There's
you-
subpoenaing everybody.
You decide the ones that get put into the National Historic
Yes, exactly.
Film Registry.
This one's going. And
Debbie
this one's
does
getting
Dallas.
archived.
Debbie does Dallas is weak. Get that out
Get
of here.
that out of here.
Does not deserve to be
All
historic.
right, 2 girls, 1 cup. Top of the list. Go.
Yeah, so everyone's wondering who it is. Obviously, there was, at least from what I've
Eel
seen online,
soup.
a lot of people have been talking about
Meatspin.org.
A lot of people have been saying, like you said, maybe it's a joke towards Dana's wife.
That's how I felt. I took it as like he was saying, dude, I banged your old lady.
Yeah, like he just called Dana a cuck.
Your mom. You know, if you're in England,
Your
your
mother.
mom.
I got your mom.
Your mom.
I don't want to be inflammatory, so I'm not going to throw any names, but I have my suspicions.
Is it a model of some sort?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
what I said.
Yeah.
I said probably some model. Some Vegas model somewhere.
If she was a dude, would she be Ariel? Hawani?
What? Ariel's like my favorite mermaid, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite merman?
Eric? I don't know.
And Kowal happens to be working on here. Thanks a lot. Thanks
I don't
for
know.
playing, Kowal.
Wait, wasn't Tom Hanks a merman for a little bit in Splash?
He turned into a merman after he
Fucking
she
A.
took him back.
There's
right?
my favorite merman right there. Tom Hanks
motherfucking A.
in Splash.
Not Aquaman?
Nope.
You're a comic book dude. You don't like Aquaman?
No, it's Tom Hanks in Splash all
Nobody
day.
cares. You can talk to fish, dude.
Daryl Hannah. Throwing starfish at people in the sea. Hey, man, Daryl Hannah's butt was the first butt I saw on TV, so I got tight allegiance to that.
met
Right? When you used to get to see butts and tits on TV?
Yeah.
met her
Now it's dicks.
at a
You
wedding.
met Daryl Hannah?
Yeah,
No
pictures
shit.
with her. Yeah, she's really nice.
Was she a mermaid when you met her? No, did you
had
put?
legs.
Did you push her in the pool? See if she would turn
See if
into
you-
one. That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's a lot of dicks on TV. It's awesome.
Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series continues. This week we had.
You get a contract. You get a contract.
We had Jordan. Well, okay, at the bottom here we got
I thought only 2 people got contracts.
Jalen Turner defeated Max Musaki with the TKO. You also had Jordan Espinoza get a win over Riley Dutro with the TKO.
He got the contract.
He got the contract, and then Riley Palacios over Toby Misch with a unanimous decision. Bevan Lewis over Alton Cunningham with a TKO.
He gets the contract.
Knees, bang, bang, bang. And a split decision win went to Kevin Aguilar over Joey Gomez.
Did not get a contract.
Did not get a contract.
So did you watch him?
No.
I watched the recap.
You recaps, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a TV show in a long time.
But I guess the drama has been there's not much drama because again there's 5 fights. They try to do them the
it's
pacing.
just fights.
It's just fights.
yeah,
Yeah.
just bang it out.
So just heads up, we do have, obviously we have fights next week, but then the following week is when Nick Newell will be on. So if you're paying attention and been waiting to see Nick Newell on Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series, it's 2
And
weeks
if you
away.
don't know why it's important to watch the Nick Newell fight, get the fuck off our podcast,
Yeah. Jerks.
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 Moving on from there.
Ultimate Fighting Championship, the tough finale was on Friday, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Friday.
Tough finale last Friday night.
Obviously, Brendan Schaub was watching before making his comments.
Let me just back up here to his comments because I didn't get a chance to say this. I understand where he's coming from because a lot of kickboxers that come in that are very talented, very decorated kickboxers,
Mm-hmm.
not all of them, they come in and they make a huge splash, but their game gets figured out really quickly.
Oh, it's like that. That first fight, it's like they don't know what the opponent usually doesn't know what hit them, doesn't
Yeah.
know how fast, doesn't know the distance, doesn't understand that they are already there. And then it's like, oh, I'm a wrestler, I'm going to take the guy down. Oh, I can, it's a completely different game plan. Like he said, and you just talked about, is that unless you're training MMA at the same time, just kickboxing, it will get you in the door, but
Yep.
it's not going to keep you
Yeah,
there.
you can be a highly decorated
Yeah.
kickboxer. You can bring that fan club in with you, but once somebody figures that out, Brandon Schaub is a football player, you
Yeah.
know, and he came in with that skill set along with some wrestling, and he was able to do really well because if you take somebody down who's just a kickboxer, all their tools are gone.
Right, but it's because you come into the fight, all they have is video of you kickboxer on kickboxer.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard to really work your tendencies, your percentages, or what.
Mm-hmm.
But once you as a kickboxer fight an MMA fighter, they know your tendencies,
see it real
your
quick.
your tells.
Yep, exactly.
You know?
Oh, big time. It's like when they had the ninja go up there to alpha male and fight in the alpha male cage.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He was a ninja.
Uh-huh.
He was a certified ninja.
Okay.
I don't know where the fuck you find a certified ninja these
His
days.
hands were licensed weapons.
I'm just
He
like,
was somebody's dad. That's crazy. My dad's a ninja. Bullshit. No,
Bullshit.
really, he is.
no, it says he had to register his hands to the DMV because he's a black belt. I'm like, did they go on Craigslist to find a ninja? Where the fuck do you find a ninja today?
Ninja, please.
Ninja, please. All right, so yes, we did have the Ultimate Fighter finale last Friday night with Gerald Meerkat getting a win over Oscar Pichota with a rear naked choke, and then you had Steven Peterson get a win over Matt Bassett on. This was on Fight Pass. Moving on from there to Fox Sports. Is it 1? Oh, it was Fox Sports 1. Bryce Mitchell gets a win over Tyler Diamond with a majority decision. John Gunther over Alan Zuniga with a majority decision as well. Then you had Luis Pena over Richie Smolin with a guillotine choke. Montana De La Rosa gets a win over Rachel Ostovich with a rear naked choke.
And Trias was crying.
I'm sure.
He was weeping.
Because
But he said he would be there.
Trias don't cry.
Yeah, he would be there to console
Did
her.
you just say Rich Trias cries?
Trias wants to climb her tree.
He doesn't even sweat.
Has to be some.
He just feels the
That's
heat.
Trias on tree violence right there. Yeah. Alessio Di Chirico.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just go. Gets a win over Julia Marquez with the split decision. Roxanne Modafferi gets another win. She's racked up 2 in a row now over Barb Honchak.
Did you think she's completely changed her fighting?
Yes.
She's doing
Style?
something right.
Yes. She seems to have since she went back to Invicta. I mean, when she went there and came back.
Into your microphone, please.
Back to Invicta. She's done well since she came back.
Yeah, she's doing something right. She's definitely doing something that works for her because, I mean, when she was on the Ultimate Fighter.
The first year.
Year. And then
20, right? Something like that?
It sounds right, 20. Yeah. And she got her ass kicked. And she was coming in there as a veteran of the sport. So, yeah, she's changed something up, and it's working out well for her. Alex Caceres, Bruce Leroy gets a split decision win over Martin Bravo. And then Brad Katona over Jay Cuccinello. Then you had Mike Trezano with the split decision over Joe Giannetti. And Israel Adesanya over Brad Tavares. What a bummer for Brad.
Man, Brad Tavares got jacked in that fight.
Think it's time for Brad to hang him up?
I don't know if I would say it's time for him to hang it up. I think he's still got good fight left into him.
I'm surprised, honestly. Brad Tavares has been around long enough to where I'm surprised that he was even a main event on this card because he's been around long enough to where he hasn't been able to really make that push towards the top. You know what I mean?
He did well for a while, I think, and he was that name. You're like, okay, this guy's coming up. This guy's coming up. This guy's coming up.
Then he just levels off.
But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of fighters that are like that, especially with the roster being so big. You just hear these names, you see them get a couple wins, you're like, okay, and at first you're not really paying attention, and they start making a little more waves, and then they get to that point where they're being pushed so hard, and then I just haven't seen a lot of guys or girls be able to push.
Get over that plateau.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
We also had UFC 226.
Damn right we did.
On Saturday.
I had to find out about these wins and losses while I was watching another fight go on in Stockton.
How do you
beat
feel
down
about
209,
that?
right?
Beat down 209. I was glad I was in Stockton. I'll talk about it coming up next, but
You know the only thing that would have made this like
midnight?
What's up?
Even though you were there till midnight?
11:30.
You were happy to be in Stockton?
Oh,
At 11:30.
At 11:30
Yeah.
you were happy to be in
It
Stockton?
was okay though. I had Nick Zanella. He's a veteran, and I told him if shit goes down, he goes, "We're killing everybody."
I think he would just leave you.
No, he said we're gonna kill
Behind.
everybody.
I left Stockton one time late at night. We were at something, and we left Stockton. We made a wrong turn, and we ended up on the other side of Highway 4. Like, not the side of Highway 4 where all the businesses are, but the side of Highway 4 that you don't want to be on.
Yep.
The thing that cracked me up the most about this Stockton was that there was a graveyard full of damn near 100 wheelchairs that had all been dropped off for the night. They were all going to be picked up the next fucking morning for people to wheel around Stockton and beg for change. You know what I mean? But it was like this was the collective area where everyone drops off their wheelchairs for the night. And it's not like you have one assigned to you. You got to get there early enough to make sure that you check one out before they're gone. Yeah.
It's like getting a picnic table at the park.
Yeah.
You guys send somebody down there at 5 a.m. and they gotta throw everything on it.
Oh yeah, you know.
That way you could have a
Make sure
birthday.
you don't have the wonky wheel one.
Absolutely. You know, there's somebody in a house in Stockton who's waking up in the morning and yelling at everybody upstairs. You better get your ass down there and get your goddamn wheelchair. They're gonna be gone. Sun's gonna be up soon.
You owe me rent.
You owe me rent, motherfucker. So yeah, you were in Stockton when this was going on, and the only thing that would have made this come full circle is if Thug Rose was commenting in DC's place, but that didn't happen. DC. Oh shit! Emily Whitemeyer gets a win over Jamie Moyle with unanimous decision. Then you had.
And then gets very angry.
Oh yeah, okay. This fight. Got
very
it.
angry with Vinny Magalhaes, who apparently trains with her, and basically afterwards she basically said, fuck you, Vinny Magalhaes, you're a piece of shit. On after Fight Pass, I was talking to Joe, and she basically said that the reason behind all that was everyone's like, what the fuck did Vinny Magalhaes do?
What did he do?
She claims since they train together, especially hard
Some
sparring,
Eskimo brothers
at the
shit?
same gym, that this is kind of that they should. What's happening?
Talking to your microphone.
I am talking to my microphone.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No.
We are live, folks.
Basically saying that
It literally sounds like he's walking by and
I haven't moved.
okay, I know. You're good now.
Basically telling him that he shouldn't be cornering other people that she's going up against.
Well, no, that's not even the thing. He said that he wasn't going to corner against her.
Multiple times,
and then he showed up the day before the fight, got off a bus
to corner for the other person.
Which I understand how dirty that is. She says if he would have sent us a text the day before, because obviously he knew that he was going to be there, then she says I wouldn't have cared.
Because she would have said, don't tell him about this, don't tell him about that.
But that's
none of this, two of those.
I don't believe that because I don't believe women in general. But at the same time, I think that she would.
All your hate mail to Joey.
But seriously, like
gmail.com.
her biggest problem is that he was there for all of her hard sparring, all of her hard sessions.
Right.
So the day before, really, she honestly still would have been mad. And she still would have the right to, in my opinion, because why lie about that shit?
Yeah.
And then take all the secrets to the corner that you're getting paid for, and then of course when she wins, that's got to look really bad.
Yeah. I tried to help you. I gave you everything. I told you what she was gonna do.
The whole game plan.
Yeah, I told
the
you
map and everything.
I told you she punches really hard. Moving on from there, you had Dan Hooker get a win over Gilbert Burns with a first round KO. And then you have on Fox Sports 1.
Is that George Burns' kid?
Right? I thought it was Mr. Burns.
Okay.
Smithers. Curtis Millender gets a win over Max Griffin with an unanimous decision. You also had Jakar Noir close get a win over Lando Calrissian Venata with a unanimous decision. Which one? The close fight?
Yeah.
It actually was a lot. I think it was closer than the Melender fight, but
I agree.
Rafael Sunsao gets a unanimous decision over Rob Font, and Paulo.
We should just change the font on his last name.
To unclickable?
Yeah.
I think we need Comic Sans.
No, yeah. Old English.
Old English.
Rob Old English.
Paulo Costa gets a TKO over Uriah Hall.
What happened to Uriah Hall?
He didn't show up. We know this. He's like, it really does depend.
Sometimes he wants to fight. Sometimes
he needs a Snickers every day.
It makes me feel bad. He's a team strongboard.
Yeah, he's
fighter.
a talented fighter.
He is
extremely.
He is, and he kicks like a goddamn mule. But dude, you need a Snickers.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying that because I lost money on this fight. I'm just saying.
Here, eat this. Why? Because you fight like a pussy when you don't have a Snickers.
That, again, it was from Joey Bueller.
If he shows up without a Snickers, I don't care. I'm not going to give him one. That's for
He shows up at the door, I got to shake him down. Do you got a Snickers? No, go ahead.
No, and neither do I. Come on in.
Come on in.
Khalil Roundtree gets a TKO over Gokhan Saki. Sakai, I think I called this one.
I was surprised.
It wasn't big kicks, though. It was punches.
It was punches.
Right. And then Anthony Pettis.
See, even now, Pete Dupuy saying, talking to the mic.
You talking to the mic.
You're a microphone. Anthony Pettis got a triangle armbar over Michael Kizia, who showed up overweight anyway and is moving up in weight class after this fight.
Yeah.
Mike Platinum Perry gets a split decision win over Paul Felder.
Paul Felder broke his arm in the first round.
No fucking way, really?
Hey, right here. Hats off to Platinum Perry.
Yeah. Both those guys went underneath the needle after this fight.
Is that down by the wrist? Did he break his forearm?
I can't tell. Is this the hand?
We need a
guessing,
doctor.
See the fat end of it? So I'm guessing, it's closer to the wrist.
Is the hand.
See the meat? See the meat end? That's going to be the close to this. So it's going to be right there.
Maybe he's like reverse Popeye, man. He's got that. Maybe. On the forearms. You don't know.
I've seen that website.
Like fat women ankles.
I know how that goes. Cankles.
So yeah, that was a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. Both
like
those guys.
Hooves going straight down.
I saw the Just Bleed guy just over and over. Like it was a good fight.
We're going to get shut down by the Omega Moose now. Hey ho, hey, this podcast got to go. Ho ho.
Oh my
We're
God,
confusing
man.
two movies, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a panty raid, go to the moon room, all kinds of shit.
I feel nothing.
Your co-main event.
Derek Lewis gets a unanimous decision win over Francis Ngannou.
We have the move of the fight right here.
That's the move of the fight right there. Move of the
the
night.
most boring heavyweight fight in the UFC, quite possibly.
In the UFC.
If you can name another
In
one
the
in the
UFC.
UFC, let me know. I can't think of another more boring UFC heavyweight fight.
Heavyweight fight? No, but I can think of this.
That was pretty good.
But that was actually that was entertaining.
That was
As
entertaining.
terrible as that was.
I mean, we've had some shitty MMA or heavyweight fights in the UFC. I mean, one of the ones that always sticks back in my mind is Tim Sylvia against Jeff Monson because of the distance, and he just laid on him the whole time. Yeah.
There's been plenty, not
this
just
one-
and not just heavyweights.
This
Not just
one
heavyweights.
was just everyone thought fireworks. Everyone thought knockout no matter what.
What was the one that
And it was-
Nate Diaz called out DC for? We have the story coming up, right?
Oh, you talking about Yo Romero calling out DC?
No. Nick Diaz calling out
Oh, we have
DC.
that. We
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
But
that.
he called him out for Russell fucking somebody too. I can't remember. I can't remember who.
We'll get to that here.
Speaking
so your
of
main event
was DC going up against Stipe
champ
Miocic
versus champ,
Yeah. And now you have your second ever two division at the same time champ.
who's actually probably going to defend him.
He's going to.
He'll defend before Conor McGregor does, without question.
He's going to defend those belts like a bucket of Popeye chicken.
Bucket of Popeye's chicken. Because he wants to stay in the heavyweight so he can have Popeye's chicken. Daniel Cormier is your winner, of course.
You know what's
Cormier.
funny is he said he felt faster with the additional weight.
Yeah.
But a part of me understands because he didn't have to restrict himself. He didn't have to hold himself back.
Bro.
Completely hydrated, probably overhydrated.
When you got
I
the
couldn't believe how quick he stopped him and how heavy the hands were that he stopped him with.
And that he said exactly how it was going to happen. We're going to get in the clinch. He does some things that we notice his tendencies.
when you got the sugar from the cake and the grease from the chicken, nothing can stop you.
Does this make him in the GOAT territory? Greatest of all time.
It depends on where you put John Jones. You put John Jones with an asterisk, without an asterisk.
Certain websites,
Yeah.
he's in the bull category. But I'm just saying.
Where would you put him?
I think you have to put him in the GOAT because, I mean, we've talked about this before. We have fighters of all different ranges. The little guys can't. This is nothing against the little guys, but we've talked about the little guys not being able to sell pay-per-views because the big guys, heavyweights, are king.
Yep.
They've always been
Yeah,
king.
but did you see what Demetrius said after the heavyweight fight? He goes, "Yeah, we're boring, right?"
And I agree with Demetrius
That was
there
pretty
because
good,
the
yeah.
little guys are tenacious. All right, but that's because we are, we're better than you, and we're fans of all fights. But when we talk about like money and stuff like that and how it works, the heavyweights are always going to be king because they're the big dudes that put on the big power shows. And for him to be able to walk in there as a light. First off, let's just think about Daniel Cormier, who was an alternate in a Grand Prix in Strikeforce.
And won.
And came back and won and then moved over to the UFC and is now a two-division champion.
Yeah.
Like, that is insanity when you think about it that way.
Won a heavyweight Grand Prix of some of the best heavyweights at the time
Mm-hmm.
going on. I mean, Fedor was in that. Bigfoot Silva was in that.
Yep.
Josh Barnett was in that. Alistair Overeem was in that. Brent Rogers was
I mean,
in
talk
that.
about a Cinderella story. This guy was never supposed to be in the mix to begin with.
Sutherland said you look too fat, or you or DC, one or the other one. I don't know.
I lost weight, man. Fuck you.
Okay, maybe he's talking about DC.
And then we saw the shove seen around the world.
I don't understand this.
Brock Lesnar comes to
I mean, I understand it, but I
First of
don't
all,
understand it.
Daniel Cormier says, look, there's a guy out there that's in the audience right now. He's a wrestler. He's an All-American. He's somebody I've always wanted to possibly face. I never really thought about it until now, but yes,
Bitch.
Brock Lesnar, come in here. Let's talk. Brock Lesnar comes in, immediately shoves DC, then gets on the mic and says
Did
that,
DC go down?
No, he just kind of fell back. I was like, what the fuck? Which I have the explanation from DC on
What
that
up,
too.
Moose?
Shoves him and gets on the mic and says, Ngannou is shit, Stipe is shit, DC, I'm coming for you, motherfucker.
This is what Brock
Brock
said?
says the heavyweight...
Brock,
fight,
I don't like anything touching me in the face, Lesnar.
the heavyweight fight was a disaster that we just watched before this. And
Whatever.
basically shoves the camera out of the way. Dana White says, this is a fight we want to make. We're going to make a heavyweight fight against DC for the belt. And he says the reason he's allowed to jump ahead is he's the former heavyweight champion.
And DC wants the fight.
And DC wants this fight. So the explanation from DC, of course, everyone immediately said, fucking UFC's gone WWE.
Yeah.
The whole thing's fake. The whole thing's set up. This is all bullshit, blah, blah, blah. According to Dana White and DC, the little bit that we have, Dana White says, Brock Lesnar said, hey, I want to show up to this fight. Dana said, sure, you can come as my guest. I'll give you a ticket. You can come sit next to me during the heavyweight main event. We'll see where it goes from there. Dana White also says he claims that DC asked for this fight afterwards. Like, this is the fight that he wants as well.
Right.
According to DC...
DC asked for this fight 6 months ago.
According to DC, he says, me and him have always basically talked shit back to each other, back and forth, about wrestling. They were both All-Americans. They were both in college, in wrestling. Who would have won in a wrestling match if they wrestled at the same time? So it's always been like a friendly kind of thing. He says, when he pushed me, I didn't think he was going to fucking push me. He's like, we've been cordial outside of the octagon since he's gotten to this business. A, we were in 2 different weight classes, but B, we had that kind of wrestling background. He's like, we give each other a hard time. Oh, I would have won wrestling. No, you would have won wrestling. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
He goes, I've been to WWE events, sat in the front row, got tickets from Brock. He's met my kids. He's met my wife.
Yeah, but now he's cutting a promo.
It's been cordial. He said, the minute he got in there and pushed me, I realized what he's doing, and he's selling the pay-per-view now. So I got into it. So then I was like, no, I'll knock your ass out. He's like, why not? If it's going to make us money, why not? He's like, I've always been interested to fight the guy, but now it's for real. He's like, it wasn't putting on a show. He's like, it is what it is. Immediately I see what he's doing, and he brings it to the table.
But it is putting on a show. It is cutting a promo. And for Dana White to make the excuse of that he did is stupid, because this is what we have seen with the new era since Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
For
sure.
The rankings don't matter. So any fighter in the heavyweight division who thought rankings mattered, they were delusional, because they haven't mattered since Conor McGregor.
Curtis Blades got very upset. Another call out, which I thought was really interesting.
God, I would love to watch Francis Ngannou punch Brock Lesnar in the fucking face. He would fucking crumble like a bag of potato chips.
Yeah, but
dude.
on the flip side, he would just grab Ngannou and fucking power slam him.
Possibly.
I mean, maybe even over his head, do the helicopter spin and throw him.
He does the F5, he puts him like this, and he does.
No, yeah, if he gets a hold of it. But I'm saying, Brock Lesnar, we know that he doesn't like to get hit in the face. You're not allowed to punch Brock Lesnar in the face if you're in his training camp.
No, Pat Barry says so.
Yeah, his sparring, you're like, you don't touch the man in the face, and he fucking hates it, and he crumbles like a bag of
those
potato
teeth
chips.
might fall out.
Another call.
It's almost like he's from the Central Valley.
Yoel Romero called out DC, wanting him to defend his 205-pound belt. Said, congratulations on you Saturday. I want to see you soon, boy. Give the people what they want to see. Me and you, I love you. 205 in New York. Cormier says, here's the deal. I've never wrestled Yoel Romero, but in wrestling, he would probably have served me up. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Also, Yoel Romero, Cuban national wrestling champion as far as
I thought DC
Olympic.
Was Olympic. Wasn't DC Olympic?
He was an Olympic alternate. He actually never won.
I thought he was a silver
Yoel
medalist.
Romero actually won the gold medal in wrestling.
Okay.
He says he would probably, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He goes, but you don't fail a class and get moved up a grade to the next one.
Exactly.
He said Chael Sonnen did that one time, and I don't know how that happened, but that's just
his mouth. He used his mouth.
He says, but that's not how it's going to happen. However, Yoel, or whoever writes for Yoel, very smartly posted this picture of DC getting kicked in the face
by John
Jones. It said, the last time somebody failed a grade and moved up a class, looked like it worked for you. I see you soon. I love you.
Oh, shit.
Well done.
Well done. Well played.
Well done, Yoel's writers.
And I love
that's Knight to Rook. Isn't that what it is?
I love his I
Knight
love
to
you.
Rook 5, I
his
think.
hashtag I love you is ILUHJU. I love you.
Let's make this trend on Twitter or Instagram.
He did not come up with that.
No.
That was pretty good.
There's
and
somebody
also
in the room.
Another call out, which was very, very strange. Nick Diaz today.
This was hilarious.
I woke up to this. Your message.
I sent it to
you.
you.
See this shit? And I was like, no, I haven't got on Instagram yet.
Nope.
Look on Instagram. Oh, okay. Again, I don't know if Nick wrote this or somebody else wrote this.
Nick Diaz from the fucking rafters, dude.
Yeah.
He's coming in like
Jimmy,
Sting.
like Jimmy Snookerfly.
Like Jimmy
Fucking
Snookerfly.
Sting coming down with a black bat. Just says, sick of all this baddest on the planet BS. I'll fight for any title at any weight. UFC wants to make BS WWF fights and guys that fight like shit and put on an act. DC would look way worse than I do in this picture, which is a picture of himself all cut up, if he fought Anderson Silva the way I did, but instead he decided to wrestle fuck him for 5 rounds in front of his whole life. And still got almost finished in the last round by Silva, only having 2 or 3 weeks notice. Dana White, you should give me this fight instead of dick chest Brock Lesnar. And his cheating ass. Don't be scared, homie. Nothing personal.
Fucking line.
I love DC, but I don't like what he does. Constantly embarrassed for him and the sport. I started doing MMA not because of the WWF. I never put on a BS act in my life. I'm sure the fans would like to see a real fight.
I would like to know.
DC also then got on his Twitter and was like, Yo, Nick, we cool, dog?
Bay Area, NorCal?
Bay Area, NorCal? That's all he wrote.
That's what I want to know. Like, he says that he likes DC, but he says that DC embarrasses himself in the cage.
Well, he's just saying that because he's playing along. He's being a company man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's saying.
He doesn't call anybody out. He doesn't talk shit.
Right.
He also plays the safe game.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I mean, the same thing that DC said to everybody else, he could say, he's like, stay broke.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they're not really broke.
Right.
Right.
I don't know if I'd want to watch DC and Nick fight, but I want to watch Nick fight somebody.
Yeah, I'd like to see Nick fight somebody.
I'd love to see Nick
Have you seen
fight at 245?
He's saying he's fighting GSP again.
Yeah.
What if Nick did come in at 245? What do you think he would look like?
A taco truck. He would look like Nick Taco Truck Diaz.
Would you like to see Yoel Romero versus DC?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Are you happy to see this whole Brock Lesnar angle?
No, I think it's stupid, but I don't care.
They did say Brock Lesnar did enter the testing pool July 3rd, which means he's available if he stays clean, and this is serving his suspension and staying clean, January.
Yeah.
So with them saying he just entered the pool, do you remember the story that we did on the Fighter X? So now we know it's not Lesnar who was the Fighter X that USADA.
Oh, that's right.
So who's the Fighter X then?
Chael Sonnen.
Somebody. We'll see.
Ariel Helwani.
I don't know. Start looking. Dana White.
Well, I'm just keeping track for anybody who's got scorecard at home.
Yeah.
Fighter X now is not
Brock Lesnar.
We're fucking playing Clue.
Yeah.
Spider X is Chael Sonnen in the library with a lead pipe.
With an USADA needle.
What's the other one where it's like, did he have a mustache?
Yeah, guess who?
Guess who?
Nope, flip down those ones. What about a hat? No. Does he have a dick tattooed on his chest? Flip down one.
I hated that game because, like, is your person a woman? Yes. I got two choices. She wearing a green shirt or does she have glasses?
Yeah.
Fuck. Game over. Damn. Bellator 202 also. Did this already
No,
go
hang
down?
on,
This
hang on.
is going down. First, he wants to go recap.
Let's just recap. This was
Beat down 209. We're Stockton.
In Stockton, we had Nathan Gresham defeats William Hobesley. Ernie Juarez beats Chris Burton. Gabriel Juarez beats Ernie Vallejo. No, that fight didn't happen. That's right. Mark Thompson beats Faraz Dalidi. Logan Paxton beats Eric Lawson. Diego Zuria beats Gary Helm. Josh Scott beats Thomas Moody. Mitchell McKenna beats Nalita Martinez.
The city of dreams.
Philip Hattersley beats Carl Mitchell. Melissa Croden. This was the America against Canada fight.
Oh, yeah?
Canada beat us. Melissa Croden wins. And then Anthony Charles beats Jared Velasquez. And it was an awesome night of fights. The only thing I would say is, much like the UFC, we need to work on pacing because we left Stockton at 11:30.
Jesus.
But anyway,
But you made it back safely, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, 209 beat down 5.
He's missing a car door.
It was a great. it was a great card. Awesome
Swear
night
to
of
God,
fights.
when we left Stockton, we had 4 doors on this car.
Yeah, and
This is a 2-door Civic.
and a ref actually used yellow card or timidity to call a fight. He was
Really?
like, "Fight, you're done." The guy was like, "What? You can't." He's like, "Yeah, it's called timidity. Get out."
You fucking pussy.
I love it.
Yeah, and then the commission, you could tell 3 judges from the commission had to go over and tell him. He's like, "No, that's what happens if you don't
Fight.
Yeah.
You're not listening to the judge.
You lost.
Or you're not listening to the ref.
Wow. So don't be a pussy when you step in the cage.
Yeah. Well, don't do it.
So this is going down tonight, Bellator 202.
Bellator 202 on the Paramount Network.
Okay.
You can check the main event right here.
You got
Main card.
Valentin Moldavsky takes on Ernest James. Then you have Chris Honeycutt going up against Leo Light. And Eduardo Dantas takes on Michael Mayday McDonald.
Can we even say that?
Mayday?
No, we should have just said Eduardo and not even mention the second fighter.
Yeah, because we don't want to hurt his feelings.
you don't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah. Julia Budd, who is your current champion, also takes on Talita Noguera.
I like that fight.
I'm with Bud.
I'm excited for that fight.
I'm going to take Noguera. Talita Noguera.
And then while you're not in Rome right now, Joey, you could be seeing your countrymen fighting in Rome right now.
Oh, Alessio Sakara?
Yeah.
What? That dude's still fucking fighting?
Yeah, he's fighting Bellator. We have Bellator Kickboxing 10 going on tonight in Rome. You have Kevin Ross, your champ, going against Gabriel Varga, and then Gregorio or Gorgio?
No, it's Giorgio.
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 Petrosan
Petrosan, yeah.
going up against Chingiz.
Wow, hold on now.
It says Chingies.
Hey, you can pet my chingies anytime.
Ching eyes? I mean, which one do you want?
Whoa, that's even worse. Stop it.
Alizov. And then your main card.
You could rub a lamp for his last name, though.
You rub a lamp just to wish a motherfucker would.
And then you get your main card.
Now, this is MMA, though, right?
This is now an MMA.
So
yeah.
Will Fleury's taking on Alman Amedovski. Then you got Michelle Martignoni.
Is his name Alman Almadovsky?
Yes. Takes on Simone
Against
Dana.
Walnutowski?
It's like the Modesto Nuts mascots.
This is also going to be on the Paramount Network, by the way.
Simone La Preziosa takes on Maxim Radu. Andrei Koreshkov takes on Vaso Bakshevik. And then my boy Alessio Sakara takes on Jamie Sloan. Please don't kick him in the nuts.
Is that Sloan Ketterline?
It could be. It could be.
And your champ, featherweight champ,
Peterson
Patricio Freire.
takes on Daniel Weichel. Sloan!
I loved his family's donuts.
Call me, sir. God damn you.
Apparently, someone talked to Scott Coker about
Does
are they
that
ever
seem
going to
excessively
do.
hot
You're
to
the
you?
sausage king
I
of
think
Chicago.
this laptop's melting
It's
down.
going to blow up.
Feel it. Does
They're
it feel
gonna
hot?
they're gonna have a fight
Nice.
in the Coliseum.
Hell.
I don't know.
Filter for Munda. Is it going to happen in the Coliseum?
Not this one, but they're talking about having an event in the Coliseum.
That's weird, man.
Hey, they've had movie premieres there for.
Have they?
Yeah,
thought it was-
Gladiator just got re-released there.
I
You can
thought it
go
was
watch
like-
Gladiator in the Coliseum.
Okay, I thought it was hard to get into the center of it. Like it was all like.
You have to convince the Italian government that you want to be able to put it on the event. They've had concerts there.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I just thought that it was dilapidated enough to where getting to the center of it was just dangerous.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not like the whole center. You get like part of it.
You get part of it.
Yeah. Still kind of cool though.
Where David and the Lion met.
And then you had
somebody, I don't know.
UFC Fight Night Philippines, aka Boise, Idaho. UFC Fight Night 133.
I swear to God, I thought this was going down in the Philippines.
He's like, where's this fight go down? Philippines? Yeah, Boise, Idaho. Same thing.
I just got that because while that whole thing was going down, I was on the other side
Trying
of
to
the
get shit
table. And I heard you said Philippines. I literally typed in Philippines, and then you said Boise. I was all, is there really a place in the Philippines called Boise?
This is our pregame. This is what happens before you guys tune in. Jessica Aguilar taking on Jody Escobar. You also have Mark De La Rosa taking on Elias Garcia. Liz Carmouche takes on Jennifer Maya. That's all on Fight Pass. Moving on to Fox Sports 1. You got Kurt Hollabach going up against Rayoni Barcelos, and Justin Scoggins takes on Sayed Nurmagomedov.
I said. Nurmagomedov.
I say it,
boy.
So fucking Foghorn Leghorn.
Chicken hawk.
Yeah, exactly, the chicken hawk. If you don't know Foghorn Leghorn, you really shouldn't be watching this show at all.
Totally related.
Darren Elkins takes on Alexander Volkanovski as well, and Eddie Wineland goes against Alejandro Perez.
I love Eddie Wineland, man.
Eddie Wineland's a great one. Alexander Volkanovski.
I think he was the best lead
good fight,
singer.
too. Was Def Leppard?
Drummer's only got one arm.
The 9-arm killing machine. Kat Zingano takes on Marlon Renault. Also, Miles Jury goes up against Chad Mendez. Randy Brown up against Nico Price. Dennis Bermudez up against Rick Glenn. Sage Northcutt takes on Zach Otto. And Junior Dos Santos in your main event. I didn't even realize he was fighting again.
Yeah.
Takes on Blagoy Ivanov.
I didn't jump in on time, but what are we expecting from Mendez after the 2-year layoff?
I would say he learned his lesson. He knows what he needs to put into his body and what he does not need to put in his body, including using eczema cream.
It was eczema cream.
But he needs to get all those things checked before he goes so that he can be a clean fighter.
No, I mean actually in the fight.
Like in the fight. I think he's going to do well.
I'm curious about it because
I want him to come back and destroy Conor McGregor like he was going to the first time if he didn't get tired because he only came in a week's notice and was like 90 pounds overweight.
And the eczema slowed him down.
Yeah.
Big time. He does that.
Windage.
Yeah.
Dude, he took Conor down in that first round and just mauled him. Just held him down and ground and pound. And in the second round, he was like, cool, I can't breathe right now. And Conor's like, ha ha. There's that famous picture of him laughing at him. I'm going to get you. And he's like, fuck, man, I'm so tired.
I thought I was going to finish him in the first round, and I didn't.
I've only trained for a week.
It was like when
I was wakeboarding.
When you go out to dinner and you're super hungry and you're like, fuck that, I'm going to get that big-ass burger.
Yep.
And you order the big-ass burger and they bring it to your table and you're like... Yeah, you're like 3/4 of the way through it, and you had some of your fries too, and you just kind of look at it like, oh.
All right, Blake Stevenson, you're listening. Who's the Fighter X in the USADA pool?
I don't want to take this home, but
Tell
I
us.
think I can finish this.
But I gotta.
Yeah.
And then you don't.
And then you don't. Then you hate yourself later.
Yeah.
You wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning with a tummy ache.
You got Junior Dos Santos or you got Ivanov?
I don't know, man. I think I'm going to take Ivanov.
Ivan Slaganov?
Yeah,
right.
Rachmaninoff.
Super Sage or Zach?
I can't take Sage. I don't know why he's on the fucking co-main, to be honest with you. I don't get it.
He's Super Sage Northcutt.
He should be in some chow mein. Sage chow mein.
You got lemon juice drinking Bermudez or Rick Glenn?
I'm hoping Dennis Bermudez.
Yeah.
The Bermudez
I'm hoping
Triangle.
He still got it.
He's going to put him in the Bermudez
That's
Triangle.
what I'm hoping for. And then I'll take Nico
And
Price.
then you disappear and nobody ever finds you.
Chad Murray and Kat Zingano, which is stupid.
I
It's probably gonna be Mario Renault.
I like Zagano.
What has 9 arms and sucks?
No, we got to take Renault. She's
Def
team
Leppard.
Strongboard.
Okay.
All right,
Cat
Marion
Zagano
Renault.
all the way.
Dick.
Y'all ready to get busy? Buttermilk biscuits, here we go. Thanks for listening. Of course, every week we do this. It's an MMA podcast that brings you as much MMA news as we can fit into a podcast, which we never know how long it's going to be.
We could fit into anything. They told me get in where you fit in.
You cannot fit in that shirt like she does.
Oh, I
No,
could
you
fit in
cannot.
it. Not like
Not
that.
like she does.
No, it'd be a lot tighter. And my boobs are way bigger.
So yeah, get a shirt. We got the shirt sickle thing going on. Shirtsickle.com/SDMMA. You can get the one that.
Our shirts show up in 7 to 10 business days after you order, unlike
And
our
it's shirt
sponsors.
sickle like popsicle, not shirt sickle.
Circle.
Like
Like a circle.
Like a
No,
scythe.
or like a scythe
sickle,
that you would
yeah.
harvest. Yeah. No.
All right.
If you order our shirts,
Or sickle
it
cell.
takes 7 to 10 business days to process, plus 7 to 10 business days to ship. If you're having
that one.
if you're having issues getting your other shirts from other pages, talk to tech support.
Yeah, and just know that if you guys do it in a surge, you're more likely to get a large group of shirts done faster than if you just get on there and order one.
Anyway, get one.
Because they don't want to wake up the gimp to make one shirt.
Right. That's
When
a
you
huge
want to
issue.
when you want to wake the gimp up, he's got to do at least 10 or 15.
That's why. Well, they had 2 for the Gimp in the Pulp Fiction.
Did they?
Spider caught us a couple of flies.
Oh.
There
There is no us.
All right, so also check out Strong Board Balance. Get on board, change the way we work out.
Dead's dead,
StrongBoardBalance.com. It's dead. And Dependable Solutions. Change the way you work out. Change the way you work out. No, change the way you do your business. Innovate your business. Change the way you take credit cards. Of course, if you want to take any kind of credit card, they can hook you up with a great discounted rate. If you already take credit cards, they can get you up to a 60% discount over what you already pay. Dodge is dancing on the Strong Board. I'm not actually this short. Well, I am this short. He's not actually this tall. But anyway, thanks for listening.
Anybody paying attention, I'm not saying on anything.
I don't know. SD_MMA on Twitter and Instagram. And, of course, Split Decision MMA Podcast on Facebook. SplitDecisionMMA.com. Is that a full circle?
Yeah.
Dodge went full circle. And, yeah. Follow us anywhere podcasts are broadcast. Have a good night, and we will see you at the fights. Shut it off!